All right, guys. Hi, welcome to another video I wanted to make. I know the VTuber is going to be a little out of sync. It seems to be fighting me about things. Um, but I wanted to make a video to address a few things that I keep seeing constantly come up. But again, apologize for the background noise. I am in the editing den today, and the air conditioner is rather loud because it's like 80 something degrees already. Um, so I just wanted to address some few things that I keep getting either privately DM'd or uh, things like this that show up on my Telenym. If those of you guys are not familiar with what Telenym is, it is a service that you can leave creators or just people in general anonymous tells or messages that are just off the wall random things, or they can be as positive as can be, or they can be complete utter just hate mail. um, I've gotten a mix of both of that, but that being said, I wanted to address this thing that keeps coming up in conversation. I keep getting tells, I keep getting DMs from people that constantly say that they're either upset with me or that they don't like the new direction that I am going. And I wanted to make a short video just trying to go over that and kind of explain why potentially people feel this way, why this is even happening, period. So just wanted to make sure that everyone's on the same page with this. So the biggest thing is, let's get into it first. And any different variation of this is a lot of people are saying I've changed. They don't like that I am different from how I used to be. And to that, I say, what do you mean how I used to be? Because if we unpack this further and we really sit down and think about it, how I used to be, at least mentally, I was a rollover. I let a lot of people use me. I let a lot of people walk on me, and in any sense, either to, uh, in a professional sense, I had friends come along that only wanted to be around me and collab and co-stream because they wanted to ride my coattails and make a name for themselves. And then once I was of no use, they tossed me aside. I've had significant others who've come along who even went further down that line of wanting to date me because they wanted that clout that I was bringing to the table. I've even had friendships that are strictly, it seems like, built around uh, what I can offer, what I can offer the people in question, what I can offer them in return. Um, and after months and months of just dealing with this, I can't. It started for about over a year and a half ago now. I just stopped. I stopped really trying to focus on uh, other people. I sat and I really started to think about who I needed to put my energy towards, who I needed to potentially, um, oh, because I pop up freaking noise, um, but who I needed to put my energy towards, who I needed to put my time towards, because a lot of people would whine at me that I needed to give them time, and when I did, it never was enough. As you guys noticed, if you followed the channel long enough, there were times and stints in my schedule that I didn't stream. I didn't go live. I didn't do any of my content, and I fell behind for months. And that was because I was constantly focused on people pleasing. I was constantly focused on trying to make everyone else feel better rather than prioritize myself and my happiness. Um, so I go back full circle to this is people will constantly bombard me with this. Is I think it's sad that you're no longer like you used to be. Um, I haven't changed much. Um, I'm still a sweetheart to those that I feel that I can be a sweetheart to. I am still kind and very open to meeting new people and have met new people. Um, it just feels like a lot of this is charged from people from my past that are upset with the fact that they can't come back and manipulate me, or they can't come back and get more out of me because I've put up those boundaries. Um, like I said, it was worth making a video because I believe a lot of you share the same general consensus, even if it's not malicious. You're probably like, why is she so different now? I know a lot of you guys have noticed that my stream schedule and my sleep schedule is completely different, and that's for two things: is my house is cooler at night. It's easier for me to work during the night because it's cooler. This house has terrible insulation issues. And as you guys know, I have IBS. IBS is very, very temperamental when it comes to the temperature. If I get overheated for even a split second, I am running to the bathroom and I am emptying my beds. That being said, that's why I'm at night. Um, but to stay focused on what we're talking about is mentally, I've shifted a bit. You know, I stopped being a people pleaser. I stopped being the happy-go-lucky, at a time I'm pretty sure this is coming from. I stopped being the happy-go-lucky dragon that just was there for everyone and did everything, gave the shirt off her back to anyone that she cared about. Because at the end of the day, for lack of a term, that burned me. That burned me more times than it did me any good. I'm pretty sure if you go to any group that doesn't like me and mention my name, they have a laundry list of reasons they don't like me, some of which I will never know, some of which I will never have the courtesy to know. And that kind of shit hurts. There were lines drawn in the sand that I was never even a part of. There is, countless numbers of rumors and other things swirling around me that I can never defend myself against because I don't even know the basis of them. Um, and this is just prime example of someone just being upset that I am not just staying silent on things anymore. I'm not rolling over on mistreatment of the way people treat me. Um, and like I said, to that I say, at the end of the day, it's sorry, not sorry. I do a lot of things that are for my own preservation. I do things for my own happiness and my own enjoyment. I don't do things to pleasure and please everyone I possibly can. There are select people in my life that I trust enough that I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll bend backwards and do that. I'll bend backwards and do that for you. But it used to be on a revolving door system where anyone that got close to me, I was doing things for, and it just ate at me. It just burned me. It just constantly uh, would just get me nowhere. Um, and I I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure the people that are leaving me these tells are probably gonna watch this video. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what possible explanation you're looking for. And the fact that you're going as far as saying it's sad that I've changed. Uh, Maybe you need to look in the mirror at your own life and realize maybe it's your life that's sad, not mine. Because I've grown up and I've started to realize that there were a lot of fake people in my life and I needed to make a change. And if you're one of the people that I cut out, then maybe you need to reevaluate how we interacted and how maybe it felt that I needed to make that change. And the final thing I can say on this is, a lot of people don't like this direction I'm going. I get that. A lot of people will not like the direction I'm going or like how I'm potentially handling myself. I'm handling myself with a more stern backbone and more focused on professionalism versus, bringing a lot of personal things into my professional life. And over the last couple months, it's been amazing. Been able to cut down on how overwhelmed and how easy I was to get overwhelmed and stressed because I would have to sit there and go, okay, is this person a part of my personal life or is this person a part of my professional life? Now, I know there are some that are going to dance between. There are people that are very close to me that are in my personal life and also a part of my professional life. But a lot of this has shown me that differentiating those gives me a level of breathing room when it comes to social interactions. So, I will reiterate again to the ones that are leaving the anonymous messages like this, because this is the fifth or sixth one I've gotten this week. At this point, all I can say politely is get over yourself. Do us both a favor and get over yourself, please. You're doing nothing but trying to, it seems like, guilt trip me into reverting things that have done nothing but improve my mental health and improve my ability to continue work. There are people that have been in my life that have emotionally scarred me to where I wasn't able to work. Um, those people have since rooted out and gotten rid of, which is the hardest thing. I will openly say, removing people is not what I enjoy doing. I honestly dread having to do that because when I form a connection with someone, that connection sticks. I don't like having to be the one to go, okay, I'm to take the scissors to someone and cut them out of my life because I believe everyone has a fair chance at being in everyone's life and everyone should be happy. I don't like conflict. I don't like having to go, okay, this person isn't good for me anymore. I have to cut them off because I could never know. They could be going through something. They could be, struggling with something, and they just don't want to tell me. But I also need to weigh both my options and my stress level when it comes to social interactions, and that's what I started doing. And that's why I'm saying a lot of people seem to be getting upset that I started just cutting people off. I started removing people. The prime example is if I'm the one having to orchestrate a conversation, if I'm the one that has to be the one that reaches out all the time, I'm going to be honest, that shit gets fucking old. Like, excuse me from swearing a little bit, like any of you really care. Um, but that shit gets old. It gets old and it gets old fast because if I'm the one that has to constantly be the one that reaches out, be the one that controls what we're talking about, the topic and all that stuff, it gets old very, very bad. And if I ease off of that gas pedal in terms of that social interaction, and then it goes silent for like let's say 2, 3, 4 months, to me that shows that I was the only one keeping that friendship alive. I was the only one that was working to keep that connection afloat. Because unless someone can give me back the energy that I am putting into them, it only shows me that they are not really worth my time in this. And that's shitty. I know a lot of people will say that's a shitty way of looking at it, but I don't have infinite time on this planet. I don't have infinite time on how long I want to spend being friends with someone that every social interaction has to be, me asking how their day is, me asking what they did today, me asking, would they like to do something? Because at the end of the day, the people you see around me are the people that go out of their way to talk to me, the people that out of their way to make plans with me, the ones that co-stream with me, the ones that give me ideas for things, the ones that just give a normal conversation that's like, if they randomly message me like, I hope you had a good day, or how are you doing, those stay on my radar more because it's like, cool, I'm in this person's thoughts, and that means a lot to me because they're taking the initiative to talk to me. What I can only surmise from, tells that are like this is someone somewhere got removed and they didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that they were removed from my life after probably making no effort to be around me, making no effort to talk to me. Like, again, I get people are busy, and I know a lot of potential people are going to comment under this video that, oh, people have lives, you need to be a little bit more considerate. I am considerate of that, but when I look at a chat that's been dead for 7 to 8 to almost a year because I stopped talking, no one's life is that busy to where they can't take the time to at least say hey, or hey, I'm gonna be busy for a bit, I'll be out of touch. Like it's a 2 second text, especially if it's people that are potentially wanting to be closer to me. It shouldn't take that much effort to shoot a message that simple. And time again, it seems like I sit here and I get these, one-sided things, and when it's time for me to finally cut the string, because I'm tired of having to scroll down on my DMs list and try to message them or interact with them, because I see that they still are doing social media if they're another creator or they stream and stuff, and they just don't make effort to talk to me. I'm gonna cut that off because it just seems like it's a one sided interaction. Now, I'm not asking, because I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're just asking for people to just be all over you. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for normal human interaction of a simple once in a while, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Like at least make the effort to conversate. Not, we had a one time like passing because we're creators and we talked, and then it's just or like we co-streamed or something, and then it's just silence. Now again, I get things can get busy on the content creation side. I'm there. I run 4 channels, another 3 different services myself. I know this shit can get busy, but it still does not hurt to take 2 seconds to reach out to someone you are claiming that is your friend, to shoot them a message and just ask how they're doing, especially if you see their status is not doing great. At least reach out to them and go, hey, hope you're doing all right. Let me know if you need to talk or something. At the same time, even if you're not willing to potentially be their therapist, just let them know you're there. Just like, hey, hope you're doing okay. Leave it at that. Because that, surprisingly enough, when someone shoots a message, when someone's in a bad place mentally and they like somebody and they enjoy being around someone's presence, but haven't heard from them in a while, that can lead a lot of times to their mental taking a dive because they don't feel like they're worth the person that they've enjoyed being around's time. And I'm very much the same kind of way. Is if I sit here and I put a bunch of energy into someone and then I see next to nothing, it makes me feel worthless. Is that something I have to work on? More than likely. But I've also turned a chapter where I'm going to start rolling out these videos to where I'm giving you guys my honest opinion and my honest feelings on certain aspects that I'm getting conversated about and getting tells like what's on the screen. Like I don't know how to directly answer that because I don't know what aspect of my life this person is claiming. Are they sad that I'm not like I used to be and I was super happy um, and whatnot, and I'm not as happy as I used to be? I mean, newsflash, my 8 year relationship failed and fell apart almost 2 years ago now. I've had to go from a house of 5 individuals that were all happy and we were a family to now just me in a matter of half a year. I'm in a 3 bedroom apartment by myself that I once had a massive idea to grow a content family, to grow, just a friend family. And that takes a toll on someone. Most people, from what I've talked to and who I've conversated with, when that happens, they take a year, maybe 2 years of hiatus from content creation because they just simply can't do it. I am blessed enough to have both a supportive community and this is kind of my livelihood. I have to kind of keep going, and with my community behind me is what keeps me going. Um, so I just fail to understand what aspect of my life you are calling into question that I am uh, supposedly sad for not being anymore. Um, and like I said before, is maybe it takes you having to look at yourself and your interaction with me potentially is maybe what caused the rift that you feel that is on me may potentially be on your end as well. Um, so all I could say is, for those of you that feel this way about me, I don't know what to tell you. I have started to have a backbone. I've stopped rolling over for people. Um, I know a lot of my content isn't bringing the same like crackhead energy that it used to. Because if I'm going to be honest, my life's kind of shit. um, every month I struggle to stay afloat. Every month I struggle to even get food enough to last me through the whole month. And those are massive stressors that are very detrimental to my ability to stream. Now, I'm not doing any of this to, you know, put a woe is me together or, try to spin this as some kind of guilt trip for anyone. I'm just being honest. Um, to those that are leaving messages, um, maybe leave me a follow up about what exactly you're feeling is, causing you to feel that, I'm not like I used to be, because I haven't changed that much. I'm still Scar. I'm still Grim. I'm still, the happy-go-lucky person I am. I just am more reserved now. That's the only thing that's changed. I still make content. I still stream. I still do all the normal things I do. I just, am a little bit more reserved with my social interactions now. Um, so I'm just curious, um, to those that feel this way. I will drop the telonym under this video. Feel free to message that, because you want to stay anonymous. I get it. And let me know what aspect of my life you are feeling, is, I guess, making me a sad individual. I guess I don't know, um, and whatnot. And I will probably do a follow up video to try to figure out, um, if it's just a misunderstanding or if that is something that potentially is a valid thing that maybe I'm not seeing. I am open to growing as an individual and learning. I may think that I am carrying myself properly, but I could not be. I don't know. All I can do right now is address things that are on my table the best way I think I can. So, anyways, I thank you guys for watching this little rant. It's going to be like probably 20 minutes, and I apologize for it being so long. And I will see you guys in the next video.